What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson. Another win. Get it? Another one. Another win. I don't get the joke either. It's just I hear it a lot. Anyway, but yeah, third win in a row. 12 games unbeaten now in the Premier League, and I actually agreed with the lineup this time. What's that glare is bugging me. Oh well, I'll just try to move my face out of the glare. There we go. But yeah, it was finally a good lineup. No Baba. I hate to say it, he's just not ready. If Kennedy had not gotten hurt, I don't think we would have seen him today. I don't think it's a bad injury, but Kennedy was hurting. I read after the game in the post-match press conference. So if that hadn't happened, we would not have seen him today because he's just. Even when he came on, you could see he's just not ready for the Premier League yet. It's too fast for him. It's too strong for him. He may be good in a couple years. He's already got some speed, but he's just not a good defender. I'd prefer to see Ake be recalled from loan first before I see him on the field. So, but a good lineup. You got Baba, not Baba. You got Kennedy. You got obviously you have to have Cahill and Ivanovic in there, and you got Spilicueta, Matic and Fabregas, Hazard, Oscar, Traore. I don't mind seeing it. It's good. I want to see him more too. And then Costa up top. Good lineup. Right away, 40 seconds in, Kennedy scores. I'm like, okay. It was a little bit lax in the Norwich defense, but I mean, it was still a good goal. It was still quick. It was with speed. They took it to him and scored. And for the next 5 minutes, they just dominated the game. And I was like, we're about to score another one. Unfortunately, though, Norwich started stepping up and we started taking our foot off the gas. I don't know what it was, but just I do know what it was. There's kind of this theory in place at Chelsea that you control the tempo of the game, which means whenever you got possession, you keep it, and you just kind of slow things down. So now the team is, when they're flying at you, they put a lot of pressure. It's panic. But if you slow it down, if you slow down the tempo, slow passes, keep it slow. So now you're controlling the tempo. You can control the game. The problem with that is if your passing is off or you got players that dribble too much, that doesn't work, because then all this passing leads to a giveaway, which leads to a breakaway. Now the other team's controlling the tempo of the game. And I don't know what it was today, but the passing just wasn't there all around generally. There were some players that only made one bad pass the whole game, but overall it just seemed like the passing was off. And then on top of that, you got Fabregas and you got Costa, who just dribble way too much in the middle. They hold on to the ball instead of releasing it, and yeah, it's not good. So that's why that system today did not work. They tried to keep it slow, they tried to control the tempo of the game, and it didn't really work well because kept giving it away, holding on to it too long, bad pass. Now Norwich is right back at them. The thing is, Norwich had a lot of possession, but it wasn't dangerous. A lot of the time, they were pinned back. Chelsea, we were pinned back on our own half, but it wasn't really dangerous. It ended up as a half chance. It ended up as a cross that somebody almost got there, but they weren't there. And even if they did get there, you've got a defender right in the way that'll probably block it. They weren't getting any real chances. There wasn't anything like, off the post or off the crossbar, freaking out because, oh no, something bad is about to happen. It just seemed like, yeah, Norwich has possession, but they don't look like they're going to do anything with it. That all changed in the second half. And this is where I was so happy with the lineup, but then it was pretty much the reverse of the Southampton game, where I hated the lineup and then actually agreed with Hiddink's subs. Today, I agreed with the lineup. The subs made no sense whatsoever. I mean, obviously the Baba thing was necessity because Kennedy was feeling hurt. But the first two subs didn't make any sense to me. You're bringing on Mikel. First of all, I kind of figured we were going to see Mikel because Gus just loves Mikel and sees something in him that nobody else in the world does. So I knew we were going to see him, and even Mourinho utilized him from time to time. But the thing is, you bring Mikel in like the last 15 minutes of the game to kind of close it out. He brought him in with 30 minutes left. That was dumb. That was really dumb. I mean, first of all, most of these players have not played in the weekend. So don't try to. Why are you bringing players out so soon? Oscar played most of the game, but he didn't play like the first. Actually, he did play. Like, I think Pedro went off in like the 6th minute or something like that. Now, I don't remember what time Pedro went off in the weekend, but I mean, why Oscar? Because one, you're bringing on Mikel, so now we're going a man down. Yes, it's a joke. If you like Mikel, let me know in the comments how much you hate me. I don't give a crap. I hate Mikel. He is not a player. When you have him on the field, you might as well be playing a man down because he does not do anything. So you bring on Mikel, you're going a man down. On top of that, you're moving Fabregas up into Oscar's position where he's completely useless. When he is in the defensive mid role, he's an okay, he puts in a good challenge every now and then, but overall defensively, that's not why he's there. But when he's deep, he can set up a long pass and bam, gone. He's not a player that can play short. Whenever you try to do the 1-2, he's not that type of player. He's not a player that can drive at the defense either. He doesn't have that type of speed. So putting him there is pretty much rendering him ineffective. So now we're technically playing 2 men down. And then on top of that, I don't mind bringing in Willian, but why Traore? Maybe because he hasn't played a whole lot, but whose fault is that? Hiddink. But at the same time, I'm thinking he's doing a lot for us right now. Like, defensively, he's working hard. He's moving the ball very well. With him on the field, I felt like we were about to score. With Willian coming on, maybe, but, now you're lacking that, I don't know, Traore just had this touch that Willian does not. The ability to play that one-touch ball in behind, Traore has that. He showed it 3 or 4 times in the second half alone. And then you bring in Willian, who's more of a kick it long and run player. Well, now you're completely changing the game. Willian's not the same type of player as Traore is. Sure, he'll work hard defensively for you, but so is Traore. So I just don't understand why not give Traore a bit more time on the field. Why take him out so early into the second half? And then, sure enough, 8 minutes later, even before the goal, Norwich looked more dangerous. That was my big point that I was trying to make through all of this. First half, they had a lot of possession, didn't look dangerous. Mikel comes on. For those 8 minutes leading up to the goal, yes, I know how long it was. Shut up, don't judge me. They looked more dangerous. They looked like they were about to get a goal. And sure enough, who's involved in the build-up to the goal? Guy out wide, Mikel steps too slowly, plays it back, Mikel drops back, plays it back to this guy, Mikel steps forward. Guy plays it right by Mikel. He doesn't even put in a challenge. He just stands as the ball rolls right by him. And then Ivanovic isn't paying attention, gets beat on his near side again for the 3rd game. And it happened against PSG. It happened against, who did they play after PSG? Oh yeah, the Man City game, the FA Cup. It happened against PSG, happened in the FA Cup. Again, he's not paying attention. Guy runs right by him as he just stands there and goes, oh, I better go get him. Too late. Ball's already in behind. Courtois once again gets beat from that angle. Do they not work on that at practice? I mean, this is the 3rd time he's been beaten like that. Happened against Cavani, happened against Shane Long at Southampton, now it happened again. He's here, he is 6'7". The goal is right here. You should not get beat near post. It's one thing to come out against Cavani and come out against Shane Long, and Shane Long chips you, Cavani plays it on you. It's another thing to be here and then get beat here. You don't get beat near post if you're a keeper. That is unacceptable. So all around, just starting with Mikel, not putting pressure on the guy. Just being there does not mean that you're pressuring him. Being there does not mean you're defending him. All that means is that you're just a cone on the field. You could put a cone there, and it might actually stop the ball better than you can. Like, he might accidentally kick it into the cone, whereas you're barely in a position to where he could kick it into you. So I don't understand why Mikel. Why Mikel again? He does nothing but hurt us whenever he's on the field. And it's like Hiddink cannot see that. And even if Hiddink can't see it, how come Steve Holland? How come Steve Holland can't see it? The assistant coach. How come none of the coaching staff is looking out there and saying, Gus, why is Mikel out there? I mean, how can you have tapes? It's not like you're in high school. Ironic because I coach for a high school team, but it's not like you're at high school and don't have the budget to have a camera to tape the games and watch the film out. You're a professional team. It's on TV. How can you not watch the game and see, okay, so right here, Mikel, you did not step to him. Oh, and here you also missed this tackle, and here you're jogging back, and here you're just kind of standing and watching this stuff goes on. Why are you on this team again? I mean, I really wish I had more money so I could get a green screen and then stand there beside the green screen and have the game playing right beside me so I could watch and point out everything that Mikel does wrong. Because I guarantee I would find one good thing and 20 things that he does absolutely wrong. I know I'm hating on him a lot, but it is very frustrating to see what should have been a comfortable 3 or 4-0 win turn into a nail-biter 2-1 win at the end. Because Mikel is on, and now we're struggling defensively. Because here's why Matic and Fabregas work so well. With Fabregas on the field, he'll put in a good challenge every now and then, but mostly he's there because he receives the ball and he's kind of the playmaker. He's still lacks a little bit as far as, you play him, he plays over there, you play him, he switches the field. He's more of a, you play him, he looks long. And he does that very well. But he's still developing that part of the game where you're trying to play around the back. You give it to him, his short passing isn't incredible. So, but he's still good in that position for that playmaking role to look long. Matic is there for the good defensive part of it. And today he looked better. He was shutting down a lot of stuff. He was putting himself in good positions. And when he is in there, he knows that he's having to do the defensive part. So he's getting to this side, defending there. When they're coming down this side, he's over there. But with Mikel and Matic, well, Mikel's over here, and Matic is over here. You've got two defensive midfielders. So it's not like Matic can step into Mikel's space and defend for him. Because if Mikel's here, Matic has to cover this guy over here now, which is normally what Fabregas is doing. And having Mikel on this guy isn't enough because he's not good enough to defend. He just kind of stands there. If the guy cuts inside of him, oh, well, let him run. He doesn't defend well. So having Mikel and Matic is pretty much like having Matic confined to one side of the field. It doesn't work. And yet, it continues to happen. And it's not even like Mikel came on for Fabregas. No, Mikel came on for Oscar, pushed Fabregas up top. Like I already said, Fabregas is now out of position. So you've got Matic confined to one side of the field because Mikel's got the other. You've got Fabregas out of position. Your whole midfield is just falling apart, and you could tell. You could tell by watching the game. The whole second half was just Norwich. We had one or two chances, half chances, that, we almost had it. We almost had a chance there. It was completely Norwich. They just dominated the second half, looked like they were about to go on and tie and possibly win it, and it's all because of one decision to put Mikel in. That's why all these people who are like, we need to keep Hiddink, he's doing a great job. No, he's not. He's been lucky. He's been very, very lucky because, honestly, if this were not Norwich, if they had better strikers, because Jerome's not that good, if they had a striker who could finish, we would have been torn apart. Redmond almost tore us apart several times. He had several chances that a couple of maybe should have finished, but we got very lucky not to tie or lose this game. We can't keep relying on luck. That's not an option. We have to rely on a good team that's going to go out there week after week, get us the win, earn a win. That's how we should do it. That's how Chelsea should be. It should not be let's just eke by on a 1-0, 1-goal win. No, it's not good enough. So yeah, that's I'm done ranting now. Talk about it individually now. Courtois, like I said, needs to do better on those near posts. Like if I'm on another team and I'm watching the Chelsea games, we just need to send it, have guys drive in from the side and just have a rip, because he's terrible there, which is crazy to think about because, like I said, he's 6'7" or something like that. So you feel like he would cover up the whole goal to where, oh, you try to shoot here, I've got it covered, but he doesn't. Like he just, I don't know why he's not good at that. It's supposed to be the easiest part of keeping. Just this is your angle. I'm covering the whole angle. You have no goal. You're going to have to cross it. And just, oh, crap, missed. But other than that, did okay. Had that one moment where picked up the back pass. This is another frustrating thing. Also, the Costa goal probably was offsides. That whole thing, that and then the back pass that Courtois picked up. The other frustrating thing about the way the game ended is that if it's a 2-0 win or a 3-0 win, it's like, that didn't even matter. Chelsea still had this game covered. But now that it's a 2-1 win, Norwich fans are going to look at this and be like, oh, well, we should have had this and we should have had this, and if we had that, we would have won today. Now they have kind of a point. It's kind of like the tie against, I can't remember who it was, but one of the teams that we tied when Hiddink took over. I think it was West Brom, actually. There were a couple bad decisions by the referees that either, I think one took away a Chelsea goal and one, a West Brom player should have been thrown out, but the referee gave him a second chance when he was on a yellow. If we won the game, who cares? Oh well, the referees were bad today, but we still won despite that. But now that they tie, well, I'm bringing it up and it makes it sound like I'm making an excuse for why we tied. No, we just didn't play well. That's why we tied today. It's the same thing here. We should put it away, so that doesn't even matter. Who cares that the referee made some bad decisions today? We still took care of the game. It wouldn't matter if they made that call. Another little rant, my bad. Azpilicueta did okay. Cahill did okay. Ivanovic still struggling on the speed part and getting turned way too easily. Kennedy, I want to see more of him. I would love to see him continue at this left back spot for now. Because honestly, he's a left wing. He's not going to beat Hazard out for a spot. Well, if Hazard doesn't pick it up soon, maybe. But what I'm saying is, Hazard at his peak, Kennedy at his peak. Kennedy is pretty good, but Hazard's world class when he's playing well, which I'll get to him in a second. He did well today. But with Baba there, just not... when he came in, there was one time. Oh, it was so frustrating to see. The guy pretty much just runs inside of Baba, and he just says, oh, I'm going to run with you, but you're going a bit faster than me, and oh, he has a shot. It was just such a lack of effort there. I wanted to throw something at the TV. Actually, I wasn't watching on the TV. I wanted to throw my phone. That's what I was watching it on. So I'd prefer to see Kennedy there until JTE gets back. And even then, I would say Kennedy may be a better option. Having Kennedy Azpilicueta is a better option than Azpilicueta Ivanovic. It's just a maybe, but Ivanovic still is not playing well. So, going up in the midfield, Matic I thought had a good game again. Fabregas, when he went up to Oscar's spot after Mikel came on, completely just wasn't on the field anymore, pretty much. He was just a non-factor. In the first half, he had a couple good moments here and there. but still not as effective as he was last season. He's just lacking a bit of speed from time to time. Also gets caught on the ball way too much, in my opinion, but it's kind of a nitpick. Hazard, I thought, had a good game. Looked a bit more dangerous, looked a bit quicker on the ball. It's kind of funny because he was looking really good against Man City, and then against Southampton looked completely ineffective, and then today looked better again. So he's just kind of going back and forth as far as good and bad. Oscar, he was okay. I've seen him play better, but he was getting himself in the right positions. He was putting himself in a dangerous position for the Norwich defense, and moving the ball fairly well. Just lacks that kind of cutting edge, that player that makes the run in behind Costa. Sometimes he doesn't make the runs, sometimes he does, but he's not strong enough, so he just gets bodied off the ball. But he's a good player to have in there, just if you want somebody to be dangerous going at the back line. Traore, I thought, had a great game. I wish he'd gotten a goal to really wrap up his overall. I mean, all the stuff that he did, there were like one or two moments where he did something bad, but the rest of the game was just, his touch was just inch perfect most of the time. Good challenges every now and then on defense. His passing was great. I don't know how he is like driving at a defender. He had one moment where he beat a defender with skill, but as far as like driving at the defense, I don't know how he does. But I definitely want to see more of him. A lot of people were saying, what? Let's see Remy today. I'm like, no. I'd rather see Traore out there than Remy right now, because he's got something special. First of all, he's got some speed, and second of all, he's just got this drive that I want to see more of. And then Costa up top had an okay game in the first half. Second half was kind of not there, but I think that had more to do with the fact that we were getting pinned back because we had no midfield, because Mikel and Fabregas out of position. But in the first half, he was moving pretty well, putting himself in dangerous spots. He needs to work on his hold-up play a bit more, though, because he did that so well last year. We'd send the ball up, he holds it up while everybody else is getting forward. This season, he's just kind of, I don't know if he's just not strong enough or if he's looking for the foul every time, but it seems like every single time the ball comes up, it's a bad touch. He's getting pushed off the ball. He's looking for a foul. We need him to be that Costa from last year. Ball comes up, he holds it up, Hazard gets up, Willian or Traore or Oscar gets up, and then we go from there. We can't keep losing it when it goes up every time. So that's my only complaint for him. So overall, I'm happy with the win once again, but just like against Southampton, I'm not happy with the performance. It should have been an easy game. Yeah, it's at Carrow Road, so of course going away is always a hard thing to do, but we had the game won in the first half. We were dominating most of the first half. Even when Norwich had possession, we still looked like we were in control, like they weren't getting any chance. And then second half, Norwich practically just ran over us. That's not good enough. To see, especially Norwich, to see them run over us. This is a team that last week Leicester just controlled the whole game, and Norwich just defended very well until the very end, and they finally gave up a goal. This week, they didn't defend well. We should have gotten 3 or 4 goals in the first half. And then second half, we just kind of sat back and said, okay, guys, we got this, and let them attack. Mikel came on, we lacked defensively, and then they get a goal, and now they're pushing for a second. If they had gotten a second, they would have been pushing for a third. So, I don't know what to do other than say we need to get a new manager. Obviously not this season, that's not likely, but we can't keep Hiddink. We cannot keep Hiddink. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me. I don't care. He's just not good enough. He just lacks this perception. It's almost like he has his favorite, Mikel, and screw everyone who thinks that he's not good enough to play. So yeah, that's my opinion of the game. Hopefully, we have Stoke in the weekend, and hey, that's a good game to have because they're right there in the mid table, like in the middle of the table with us. So winning there means that's another team that we have now officially like gone ahead of. Because if they win tomorrow, then they're back ahead of us. Uh, so hopefully we can get a good win this weekend. Knowing Hiddink will at least get a tie. I, I don't know. I just hope we can really take the game to them this time and not just sit back and throw Mikel on. But Hiddink's stubborn, so let me know what you think of today's game. Let me know what you would like to see in the next game. Do you completely agree with me, or do you hate me for calling Mikel a bad player? If you hate me for calling Mikel a bad player, just go ahead and stop watching this video because we're never going to agree on anything ever. You probably think that, you know, I can't think of a funny joke for that. Leave a like and subscribe for more Chelsea content, and I will see you at the next game. Peace out.